Hi everyone, I am Satyanarayan, working as an assistant professor in IT department, V.S.B Engineering College, Karur. Today my topic is on web essentials. So the three important points are the client, server, HTTP, IP address and domain. Okay. First we can discuss on basic concept. Two concepts are important. One is the server and one is client. So first we can discuss on the basic concepts on server. So a server is nothing but it is a software that distributes the information and the missions where the information and the software resides is called the server. Second important concept is what's a client. So very important, a client, the software that resides on the remote machine and communicates with the server and fetches the information and process it and display it on the remote machine is called the client. So these two concepts are very important. So any web essentials, two concepts are very important. One is client and one is server. So this is the client server model. So first important, so we are having a simple example, a client and a simple example, any server we can consider. Today I am considering a server is Google server I am considering. So in between I am considering the concept called server. We are connecting the two client and the server by using a concept called internet. So simple example, so we are having a simple example, HTTP, this is an URL we are having, HTTPS. So HTTP is a hypertext protocol we are using, and we are having a website, we are having a URL we are using, www.vsbec.com. So by using, I am giving a fetching some data, I am to fetch a data from the particular Google server. So that's the example is VSBECIT.com is stored in a particular server, we can use it. So this is the basic concept. So all those data are stored in the server, we can retrieve in the format of HTML form only we can use it. So in this example, a text file is having. So client, a server, we are having internet, we are having a concept called internet. So a simple example is VSBECIT.com. It is stored in the particular server. So we are processing in the concept only in the format of HTML format only we are using it. That is the basic structure of a client server model. So in that we can have it. So next important concept, what is an HTTP? Hypertext protocol we are using. Okay. So first it is a HTTP is a form of communication protocol which specifies how web clients and server should communicate, how they can communicate. For example, a student and communicate with a particular teacher, how are they communicating? The same concept, the client is going to communicate with a particular server. So by using a concept called HTTP only, we can communicate between the client and the server. That is the basic concept. What is the concept called HTTP? So what is the basic structure we are using for the HTTP? So basic structure of HTTP is follows of two important tops we are using. One is request and one is response model we are using. Okay. So first we can have a simple example. A client always initiates the request message to the server, and the server generates a response message. So two important concepts. That is, a client initiates a message, a request message to the server. The second important concept, the server generates a response message. These are the two important points we are using in the concept called HTTP process we are using. Okay, first we can have a simple two messages we are using. One is HTTP request message and one is HTTP response message. There are two types of message we are going to discuss. Now we are going to discuss on the basic concept called HTTP request message. So we are having a simple example concept. So any website services we are using HTTP request messages as the basic, four important basic concept we are using. One is start line, next one is header line, next one is blank line, next one is message body. So these are the four important points we are discussing. So now what is the start line? The start line is nothing but it may be a request method, it may be a URI, next one it may be a HTTP version. So URI is nothing but uniform resource identifier we are using. So what is the request method? So n number of methods we are having. So maximum we are having two methods we are using. One method is request method, is one of the method is get method, and another is post method we are using. So first we are concentrating only on the concept of get method we are discussing. So header file. So header files we are having more than one or more header files we can use it. Next one is blank file. It is an optional. It is an blank line is an optional. It is an optional for the particular for a HTTP request message, but body message body is also an optional. So which is very important is started line is the very important for the HTTP request message, and header field is also it's an important concept we have to discuss. Okay, first important concept is HTTP request message. So what are the methods we are having is, first previously also I told two methods I have told. One is get method and one is post method. What is a get method? A get is used to request a data from a specific resources. So that is a basic concept. We can request the data from the particular specific resource. Like suppose I am using a data in a particular database in the format of a video, or it may be I am having some databases. By using a concept called get, I need a particular data from a particular server. We can use a concept called get method. I can get it from a particular client. Can get the data. That is a concept called get method. So what is the post method? A post method is used to send the data to the server to create and update the resources. That is a basic one. So the data is stored in the particular server side. By using, we can update or we can create particular data in a particular server. We can use a concept called post. That is the two type of methods we are using. Request methods we are using. One is get method and the post method. Okay, HTTP header fields. The host header field is required in every HTTP request message we are using. It is represented by a particular version we are using. In this example, we are considering a version 1.1 version we are using. Next, what are the three major fields we are using for the HTTP header fields? First one we can discuss on the concept called host. Next one is user agent. Next one is accept. These are the three concepts we are going to discuss. The first one is host. The host is nothing but where we are using it. What we are getting fetching the data from a particular server. So in this example, host is nothing but the www.google.com. Otherwise www.vsbec.com. So we are fetching the data from a particular server. So that is the basic one that is considered the host. Second one is user agent. The user agent is nothing but a web browser. Which type of web browser we are going to use? For example, I am using a Chrome. Otherwise, I am using an example Mozilla. For example, I am using a number of browsers are available. Any type of web browser we can use. Netscape also we can use. So in this example, I am discussing on the concept of Mozilla 5.0 type of concept we are using. That is the user agent is nothing but a web browser. Three major header fields are there. First one is host. Second one is user agent. Third one is accept. First one we can discuss on the host. Host is nothing but the particular data stored in the particular server. That is the host. In this example, I am considering simple example www.google.com. A number of examples we can consider. For simple example, Google we are having. Otherwise, we can go for college name. Website also we can consider www.vsbec.com. Next one is consider the user agent. The user agent is nothing but a web browser. Which type, depending upon the version, we can use it. In this example, I am discussing an example of concept of Mozilla 5.0 web service I am using. Next one is accept. So which type of accept we are using? The accept is nothing but text HTML. Next, which type of application we are using? Which type of XML we are using? So three important concepts we are using the accept. So accept is nothing but HTML. So suppose I am using what you are fetching the data from a particular server to a particular server to a particular client. I am using in the format of it may be a HTML file, it may be an application, or it may be a XML. So any three types of accepts can be usable. So next important concept, which type of content types we can use? Content types nothing but that is be acceptable by the particular system, that is a client can understand it. That is considered the concept called content types. So these are the three important fields we can use for the header field. Next one is HTTP response message we are using. Every HTTP response message as the basic structure we are using. First one is status line, second one is header file, third one is blank line, fourth one is message body. So that is the basic concept. The same concept we are using HTTP request message. The same concept we are using a logic. The same concept HTTP response message concept we are using. But only difference is status line is differing. So status line. So first we can status line is nothing but HTTP version. What is the status code we are using? What is the recent phrase we are using? That is three important concept we are using in the status line. So HTTP which type of version is in this example, previous example we are using version 1.1 version we are using status code. What are the status code we are going to today we are discussing on 5 code we can discuss on the status code, which type of phrases we are having. So as we are using a browser itself will give some phrases will be generated. That is the concept called recent phrases. This we are using. Next one is header field. Already we have discussed the previous concept we discussed in the HTTP request message. The same concept we are going to discuss. Now we are also discussing header field. Next important concept, blank line is optional. Next one is a body. Depending upon the content, the data will be delivered. That is the concept of the message body. So what are the status codes are there? First one is HTTP 1.1. That is the version. HTTP 1.1 version, we are having, suppose we are having 200 represents the particular code, status code of a particular website, web page, that is considered okay. So that a particular website can be reachable. That is the basic concept called 200. Next, I have the same concept, HTTP/1.1 particular version. 300 means it is a multiple choices. Multiple choices, that a number of servers can connect it. A number of pages can be connected. That is the concept of multiple choices are available. Next one is HTTP/1.1 is nothing but 400 is nothing but bad request. So it cannot be undesired. It cannot be usable. It cannot be usable. That is considered the 400. Next one is HTTP 1.1 404 not found. The particular page cannot be foundable. Next one is considered HTTP 1.1 500 is nothing but a particular link is also, it is an error. For example, www.VSBECIT1.com means particular page cannot be findable. That is the basic concept called five important status we can discuss in the particular HTTP response message. So HTTP version is nothing but basic concept 1.1 and status code is 200. Next, what is the phrase? The phrase is okay, multiple choices, bad request, not found, error. These are coming under the phrases we are using. So these are these three concepts we are discussed. These the three concepts are very important for the HTTP response message. For any HTTP request, the same response will be given. These three concepts we are going to, 5 important concepts we are discussing. The examples of HTTP request message, how to retrieve the file from a particular server. This is a simple example we are considering. http://www.vsbec.com/ my particular link, URL link I am using. I am using which type of page, which type of we are using, HTML we are using, which type of method page, maybe a text page, text mainly we are using in this example, text only we are using. So here 3 important concepts we need. One is get, post, user agent. Next one is accept. We are a basic concept. Now we are discussing a particular, in this example, www.vsbec.com, that is coming under particular host of a particular server. Next one is get method. In this example, get method is we are having in the /public HTML/web development.html. That is the particular HTML format we are using. Next one is user agent we are using. Which type of agent is nothing but which type of browser we are going, depending upon a particular system we are using. In this example, we are discussing only Mozilla 9.0 version we are using. We can use a Chrome also, we can use it. Next one is agent, accept. So accept is nothing but which type of document we can use it. That is the basic concept. So in this particular web page, which type of page document is nothing but only the text HTML only are using. We cannot use the particular video. We can any type content we can use. That is the basic concept we are using. This is the HTML text.html. So next one is examples of HTTP response messages. So this is a simple example. Previously I discussed on HTTP request message we have discussed. Now we are having a simple example of HTTP response message. That is the same concept. So first one is version, HTTP/1.1, that is a particular version. Next one, particular date of a particular document, the date, this may be a Thursday, June 24. Next one, the particular time, we are having a particular content. Next one, which type of content type we are using, text HTML we have previously discussed, the same text HTML. Next one, which type of length, content length. So particular document, length is 1354. Length is content we are having. So it is a text. So definitely it may be a content length in the which type of, so it is having some content related to 1354 content data are there. Okay. So next thing, this is a simple example, HTML body, we are having a paragraph we are using. Welcome to V.S.B. Engineering College. I am closing a particular paragraph, close with body and HTML. So in this particular content means, what is my content length means, we are having some content length means, it may be a 20 or 50 and data will be there. That is a simple example of HTTP response message. So two types are there. One is HTTP request message we have discussed, HTTP response message also discussed. These are the two types of examples we have discussed. Okay, next one is what is the important concept previously also told. Client, what is the client, what is the server we have discussed. But next important concept is what is the HTTP request messages, what is response messages, and now we have discussed on IP addresses and domain name. So what very important is IP address. So IP address, every computer on the internet having its own own IP address, such as in this example 92.0.34.166 we are using. That is a basic address we are example I am considering. So without IP address we cannot find a particular reach a particular node. That node, so for example, node is nothing but a system only I am considering. Human find it easier to refer to computer by names such as yahoo.com, VSBECIT.com. So a number of domain names are there. By using domain names we can easily reach the particular server instead of going to by using a concept called IP address, because IP address means we can easily remember the particular IP. That is a basic concept. That is we are going to know. The DNS, that is nothing but domain names services. It provides a mechanism for mapping back and forth between a IP address and host names. That is how to connect between the IP address between a particular hosting names. Host name nothing but a particular, in this example host name is nothing but a yahoo.com. So how we are going to connect? By using concept of DNS we are using. So the next is the basic concept, the client server communication basic logic. Step 1, the client will send a request IP address to a particular DNS. So in this example yahoo.com, we send a DNS to a DNS server. The DNS send the for this yahoo.com, it is having its IP address. In this address 98.138.252.30 is the particular IP address for a particular yahoo.com. Now the client will send the request to a particular Yahoo server by using a concept called HTTP request. Now the HTTP request sent from giving a HTTP request to a particular Yahoo server, send the HTTP response to a client. This is the basic concept we are using. Next we'll process it. So now we are considering what is a web client. So very important, web client is a software that access a web server by sending a message, a HTTP request message, and processing the resulting the HTTP response. That is the basic concept. So we are having a 5 important concepts we are using for a web client. So first one is initialization, second one is sending the request, third one is receiving the responses, fourth one is processing and displaying the data, fifth one is very important concept, handling the errors. The first one is initialization. Initialization nothing but for example, client will initializing a particular request. That is the basic concept called initialization. Step 2, sending the request. Sending a request, the process. In this process, a client will send a request to a particular DNS. The DNS will find a particular IP address to a particular client. Now the client will send a request to a particular server. Now the server will send a receiving the response message from the client. Then will process it. Processing concept called processing and displaying. It is nothing but a servlet. It will be by using for process called servlet. Will process it and sending a particular client. That's the basic concept we are using. In that we are having an error, handling error. Suppose for using a methods, two methods having client server methods we are using. One is client scripting we are using, another one is server scripting we are using. In this concept we are discussing handling errors are coming under the client scripting side we are using. So that is the basic concept. These are the basic concept. The web browser. So client side is nothing but this is the basic method we are using. Web browser is the typical web clients are using. Simple example, Internet Explorer we are using, Firefox, Safari, next we are using Chrome. There are a number of web browsers we are using it. A server is a primary feature of a server. Web server is to accept an HTTP request from a client and return an appropriate response. So how we are sending a request, the same method response should be given. That is the basic concept in the format of HTTP response. So first important concept is we are having 3 important concepts we are using. Thank you.